Bonjour! Welcome to today's video. I am in surprisingly part 6 of the French knitting series and the second part of the French clothing. I didn't realize this was going to be split into 2 parts until I was filming the last part and realized how long it was getting. So the next part may seem like a bit of an awkward transition, but no more awkward than usual. And hopefully this will be the last part so Alfred can stop being naked on my floor and can actually be downstairs with the rest of the grandkids wearing a cute outfit. So we'll get back into his jumper or sweatshirt, which is in progress. Here is the top part of the sweater. It's actually going to be like that going down. Got the little color change going in. And now we've come to the big direction, which I counted how many were here, and it's not, I know I'm going to increase more, but it's not the amount that is on the thing. So I'm hoping it's going to be round enough, but this is the point where it wants me to switch to the circular needles. So I'm going to use this set of needles I've seen. When I put the needles next to each other, they look very similar in diameter. And I mean, that's good enough, honestly. So it wants me to do it on this row because where the purl is facing out. Because then I will be able to pull it around for the next row. Maybe I've been adding more stitches than I've been realizing. I'll find out. For the rows, I've just been getting longer and longer because every other row I've been adding like either 8 or 10 stitches each time. Here I'm just knitting as fast as I can while also be somewhat entertaining. This is turning out very nicely though. Yeah, I don't do that yet. I do that here. I've kind of just been disregarding a lot of the instructions. I've been assuming they're the same. So if they haven't been the same, then I'm kind of screwed. But I don't think I am, honestly. So we just power through this here. A little bit of friction on this set of needles here. I'm going to have some extra needle, which is always a casualty when you decide to use a circular needle as opposed to like double pointed needles, but it is what it is at this point. Yeah, just finish up this row here. So now I'm about to hit row 25, which turns into a round. Because the whole reason why they had me put this on a set of double pointed needles is they want me to connect it now. Which, oh, it almost makes it all the way around. Almost. But here is what it wants me to do. All in the same round. It wants me to connect it, but in a way that the button parts overlap each other. So that way we get our cool little button feature. And they also want me to set aside the stitches for the sleeve because it goes from 119 stitches that they're expecting on the needle to 66. And they're not casting off anything at this point. The thing that I'm looking at is a paragraph about that big, which it looks like it's 0.8 font. It's like 8-point font, so pretty small. How the hell do I know that? Okay. But it means I'm going to need some, like, something to hold the yarn for right now. Which I could just cut some yarn, or I could get, I've got one right here. I can tell this is going to be a sleeve. That is going to be a front or back panel. Probably the front. That is going to be a sleeve. And that is going to be a front or back panel. Alright. So the buttonholes are here. So this part is going to be the part that has to go on top. Yeah. Oh. They're doing a lot this row. It looks like they also want to start the pattern. Because the rest, like, the top part of the sweater is plain, but the bottom part of the sweater has some sort of textural pattern, and it looks like they want to start it. They're asking a lot of me here. Okay. Well, I just knit those 3. I guess we're going to come back around. I feel like you would want to do it now. I'm going to undo 3 stitches on this row here. Slide them onto another needle. And we're going to knit all of them together at once. Actually, purl all of them together at once. Okay. We're just going to pull a bit of the thread here so that way... Ooh. My needle did not like that. The yarn liked it. My needle did not. Oh my gosh. Ugh. As I pull the rest of these stitches down like this. Ah! No escaping. No escaping. Oh. Yeah, as I pull that off the needle too. Boop, boop, boop. No escaping. No escaping. There we go. It is now in the round. Probably should have put a stitch marker there, but I think I'll be able to tell. So it wants me to do the increase. Ooh, I'm confused. There's some sort of pattern going on. I don't know. Okay. Well, we're just going to wing it, all right? We're just going to wing this baby here. I assume at this point it wants me to make one. It wants me to increase, like I typically do around here. Or do I not need to increase? Oh, I do not need to increase this time. It's giving me a break. So I just do 1 stitch. And then it's 1 knit, 2 purl. Like that, yeah. Boy, I did this tight. So I keep on doing that until I hit the point where it wants to do the increasey thing. See, it does not like this. The yarn does not like this needle. It's just like stuck. Oh my gosh, ew. Get some better. I do that. I assume I do this all the way down till the stitch marker. Nice thing is it appears to be equilateral here, so I assume I just do this here. And now I assume is the part that I take off of the sleeve. Oh, and then I knit this part. And then it has me take 25 stitches off. So let's see here. 25 stitches take us to where we need to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is when we move that part of the needle, the little circular movie thing, to make it more appropriate. Five, 6. It's going to make it even harder for me going forward, actually, because it was just enough stitches to get around, and now I'm going to have a bunch of extra cord in a material that causes a lot of friction with this particular type of yarn. I forgot to count. Well, I can always count again. There's no limit on how many times I am allowed to count. This isn't a game show. Alright. Oh, that went through the yarn somehow. There we go. Ah! It says 25. 5, 10... 15, 20, 25. Aha! Gonna go around like that. There we go. That's probably going to be more. Knit the 2 again. Boom. And we continue that same pattern. And then I gotta go find another one of those things. Then I can see we have a lot of cord. Double pointed needles may have been better for this. But meh. This is going to be a freaking cute sweater though. Oh my gosh. I also hope it fits. It looks like it's going to fit, honestly. Oh wait, no. I just messed up there. There's no knitting twice in this part of the pattern. It's purling twice. As I just did it again. Okay. And this is the part where I get another like marker or like safety pin thing. Ah! Matching color. On the floor nearby, and probably another 25, so that way the sleeves are even. Because, you know, that's important, yeah. That the sleeves are even. Ooh. Gotta pull this through again. As it got caught on that. Okay. Ooh. That did not like how it bent. I just may have to find some double pointed needles and put them in here instead. Because I just don't like the texture of this against this yarn. sure I have some. No, that still needs to be up like that. I just need to pull that even more, yeah. And that should be 25, yeah. So I got 5, 10, 15, 20. Wait. 5, 10, 15, 20. No, somehow I only have 24. Somehow. Somehow they do not match. That's something we're going to figure out a little bit later on. Unless... No, that wasn't included. And around here I'm supposed to add 4 stitches on the next row. And then it's just straight up knitting. With the exception of just putting that like pattern in. Well, I'm going to come back when I've done a little bit more progress. I'm probably going to switch the needle again so I'm not dealing with circular friend here. See what I have in my double needle storage thing, and I'll be back. I'm not finished with it yet, but I just want to acknowledge what a blue moment we're having here. There are blue needles, a blue stitch marker, 2 different types of blue yarn, and the blue, like, I think I already mentioned the blue stitch holders, but just like everything involved with this is blue. And it just makes me so happy. I mean, yes, it's coming out kind of cute too, but blue. I finished the body part of the sweater, which there was a part where it was like really difficult whenever I got around here. And I found out later on that I was making it more difficult than I needed it to be because it wanted me to increase it. And I kept increasing it for at least 10 rows longer than it was supposed to be increased. So it's going to be a bit more of a flare. But considering Alfred is like this big, I don't feel bad about it. Honestly, I feel better about it actually fitting him now. Which this is actually the first time I'm holding it up to Alfred. Which, ooh, not bad. And also, what it does mean though is that it did kind of mess up the pattern of like this cute little bumpy stitch under the arms. But if you're looking at the yarn, it's very hard to even notice the pattern to begin with. I mean, you can probably, this is a pattern that would be better to be felt than to be looked at. You can probably barely see it, which honestly, you might not have even noticed anything was wrong unless I told you like I just did. So I could have torn it out when I realized I was increasing more than I was supposed to, but it's important to not let the perfect be the enemy of the good, and at this point the good is finishing the clothing for the ram. For Le Bélier. Or Le Bélier, however it's pronounced, right? So at this point, I just gotta take the stitches off and start the sleeves and do the 2 different sleeves. And as I'm looking at the instructions look very similar to this for the sleeves as they do for the actual body of the pattern. So the important part is 1, getting all the stitches back on the same side of the safety pin again, and 2, getting the stitches on. Ooh, it did not like that. It is not liking that. Ooh, in order to get them off. Oh, it's not liking it. And to slide them on the circular needles. I'm not even going to pull out the circular needle and just use the double pointed needles because if the circular needle was like too big for the round body, it's going to be way too big for the arms, and I don't have the patience for that today. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is when I find out if this is the 24 or the 25 side. If it's the 24 side, I may have to add a stitch somewhere in order to keep the pattern going. But yeah, anyway, translator error on my part, not necessarily the pattern's part. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is the 25 side. And that is a free safety pin now. And I'm going to start it. I'm going to start my row at the bottom here. So that way, if there's like a weird yarn end, it makes sense. It says continue with this color, color B. And we're going to put the stitch marker. I gotta readjust my stitch counter to be 0 again. There we go. As we have a complicated game of navigating sticks. It's not quite pick up sticks, but just navigating more items than what my hands are numerically. It all kind of holds each other. So we have that in there. And it just wants me to start straight up with the pattern. So it doesn't have aug, so it doesn't want me to increase. But yeah, that is essentially what I'm doing. I'm basically attaching. I'm going to throw my stitch marker right here too, because I don't think it's having me decrease, at least not right away. But stitch markers do not do well at the end of a double point needle because they slide off. And I want it to keep on going. You know, just do things logically for once, yeah? I'm realizing more and more that I am not a very logical person. Like, there are parts of me that are kind of logical, but then other parts are like, yeah, you're more Kirk than Spock, Becky. Just embrace the fact that you're more Kirk than Spock. Maybe more like Bones, actually, but Kirk has more fun. Pull that a little bit tighter so it doesn't disappear. Oh no, I don't do that yet. Yep, that's like the first time the thing got split. Which means it'll be the only time that part of the pattern gets split. Yeah, I'm feeling much better about my choice to put that in the pit. Because now it just wants me to end with one knit stitch. So it means the 2 knit stitches are together at the bottom of the armpit. Which makes it very, very easy to hide. And that is one row. And now it just wants me to knit. So yeah, I think at this point, with the way that the instructions are going, I'm probably going to check back in when I'm done with the sweater and make a decision about whether I feel like doing the shoes or not. You can probably figure that out ahead of time by checking the time at the bottom of the video and seeing how much more is left. Not that I want to pull you out of the experience of the fact that you are watching a video, but I mean, I sometimes end up doing that myself, yeah. I'm a very distractible person. Anyway, I'm gonna be back. Here it is. Still have to put buttons on and still gotta weave ends in, but the sleeves went much easier than this now that I kind of figured out what was going on. And that means I just have the shoes left, and well, I've got enough yarn. I might as well at this point, right? It's not like I got anything else to do. Well, I gotta go to the library, but that doesn't open for 14 hours from now. Maybe 13? Something like that. Anyway. I'm gonna just use these. Not even gonna bother with the super long ones. It's like I know my tension's good enough I can hold on. Anyway, it says Chaucer's in T. And then it says Foire, page 104. So it means the shoes are on a different page. It's like work it in color D and then work in color C. What was color D here? Color D is blue marine. So the light navy. Oh no, that's color C. Color D was black. Well, I'm going to use the marine, my darker blue, as the bottom of the shoe anyway. So where's page 104 here? I'm at 117. I have passed where I'm supposed to be. There you go. So it's like, pour toutes les semelles. I know I pronounced that wrong. Alright. So it's basically, I cast on, then I increase the hell out of it every other row. And then between 13 and 14, I change the colors. And that's where I start doing the decreases. And then we have whatever the côté droit is. So I'm guessing the shoes are going to go in different directions. I don't know. I mean, the beginning part seems pretty easy. It's the other part that I'm going to be like, bleh, all about. Like, I don't understand, probably. I've done this several times now. I know I have a pattern. Yeah? Yeah, I feel pretty confident that I can at least get the bottom part of the shoe and a good portion of the top part of the shoe up until row 24. Rang 24. When is rang 24? Oh, there are pictures. I'll see what it tells me to do. So I'll be back with a little bit more of a shoe. I'm checking back in earlier than I thought I was going to. I'm only at row 13. Right at the color change. Well, actually, I'm at row 12. I'm about to start row 13. And as it turns out, I got a bit cocky. Which is about to go into huge I don't give a hoot energy. So for rang 13, the Orlet, it says tricorder and it's said like pearl to up until the corresponding 4 rows down. And then I'm supposed to do something. Do something special. Fourth, it says photo 1, photo 2. And I'm supposed to like go down and bring something up. And the truth is, typically I'm happier when there's a photo because it usually explains a lot of things, except in this case, I don't know what's going on. So let me show you what I'm looking at here. If I don't like shine you out here. It's going down 4 stitches, and then I'm supposed to like, and then this is just like knitting, like normal, yeah? So it goes down. So am I supposed to create a stitch from like here and then suddenly we got like this border and it doesn't have the end result, so I don't know what it's supposed to look like. So does it show this from the back at any point? No. Oh, there's the bottom. Was it supposed to give me a little border? I may have missed an earlier instruction. It's like, this is the picture I'm looking at. Which doesn't even really show on the screen, but it's giving me like that, like that bouncy thing, and like, oh, maybe? This is why multiple pictures are good. I've never done that. Okay. I think I got it now. So when I'm knitting this row, I count down 4 stitches. Yeah? So it's like, and I knit through that stitch and the stitch on top. So we get the little bouncy and we get the little ridge on the sneaker. So I like go. So I count like 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or it's like 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's gonna be easier if I go through that. Yeah. And somehow I knit through them both. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We go through that. I figured things out now. See, I'm intelligent. I'm very smart. Given enough griping, I can figure it out. There we go. You can kind of see it coming up now. That is why it's important to have multiple pictures throughout your pattern book. So thank you, Louise Crowther, for making sure there were multiple pictures. Because sometimes the picture that's supposed to explain to you how things are supposed to go isn't the picture that makes it click. Sometimes it's a completely different picture in another section of the book. Here's our shoe so far. And now we are at the point where I get to start doing all the fancy stuff to the shoe to make it, like, get that Mary Jane look. So it's going to be, like, I'm working towards a shoe that looks like this, yeah? So I'm on this part where I'm, like, working on setting up this. Now here's the fun challenge of, where I know something, but I also know I don't know something. I know gauche and droit are the words for left or right. I have no idea which one is which. So I have no idea what shoe I'm going to be working on. So yeah, this is going to be fun. Yeah, so basically, the first part's easy. The first part, it just wants me to knit 10 stitches. then that's where all the fun all the fun stuff starts happening. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So now it wants me to do a yarn over, then 2 knit stitches, and then pass the yarn over back over the 2 knit stitches. I'm not sure what that's supposed to do, but okay. Then it's like, following that, por rende la sección des rebatures plus nete. I think it wants me to... I know it wants me to cast off 5 stitches. I don't know if it includes the stitches that I just put the yarn over. I doubt it. 6 is a different type of decrease. It's saying like photo of 6. I'm just going to cast off 5 and hope that it works. Oh. It wants a special type of cast off for the 2E? Or no. It wants me to do something shaping wise, yeah, but I don't know what that is. As I'm just like staring and barely comprehending this. Okay. Well, I'm just going to cast off 5 and see what happens here, yeah? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's, for the second, for 2E, photo 6. Huh. I don't understand. Oh. I think I understand better now. Okay. That means I don't have to take it out, though. It wants me to knit 9. And it's saying it's including the stitch that I cast off. Which makes sense. So that way, we have the shaping going on. As I forgot to count. That's okay. I'm not going to lose my spot because there's now a gap. Okay. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now it wants me to do the yarn over 2E. pass that over again. So now we're at 11. I don't understand this instruction. Are these now 2 stitches that you work together? There are 2 stitches you work together. As I'm like glancing ahead in the pattern. Well, I'm going to cast off the 4 and see how it goes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I was supposed to do a shaping thing that I'm somehow not doing. Which is like that. That means I should have 12 stitches, which I do not. I messed up some. Well, it includes this. Well, even if that's included, that's only 7 stitches on the needle right there. I should have 33 total. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 32. I'm going to undo that. Do 33. So if I'm doing this right, before I take out everything, it should be like equal stitches on here. So it's 3, 6, 9, 10. 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 11. I'm going to say that I made a mistake somewhere here, because when I look at the center, I should have 10 in the center. And I should have 12 on either side. So I know what I'm going to remove one of the stitches from the middle. I'm going to move it over to the side, which means I got to undo this entire bit. But it's better than undoing the entire row. Okay, the nose there decided to make itself known. It's like I'm in the last stages of a cold, so I just had to take care of whatever that just was. Anyway, we're going to, yeah, I'm still going to do what I said I was going to do before I had to take care of my nose. As we carefully bind off whatever that was. We're not even going to bother with the yarn over bit. Screw that. As I slide those back on there. Okay. So how many do I actually have in the middle right now? Now 3, 6, 9. So I'm just going to knit, find my way back into that stitch there. Knit 10. And now it is what it's going to be. and I'm just going to bind off 4 from here. Yeah, it's like I had to bind off 4. So that's now 1, 2, 3, 4. So I should have 11 stitches left on the needle that I have yet to work. Yeah, so that's 3, 6, 9, 10. That's still 11 though. I don't get it. 2, 3, 4. And I bound off 5 there. It's like, it says 4, 6, 12. 4, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How do I only have 11? Does that mean I only have 32 total? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33. No, I have 33 now. There is something wrong with the math here. I don't know what it is. But now I see the sentence that says like tricorder les côtes droite gauche et les centres de la chasseur séparément. So it's basically working separately. And it all starts with a knit row. So that means I gotta trim it off here. So okay. We're going to trust it. I may regret that, but we're going to trust it. Okay. So now it wants me to basically knit to the end here. Ah, okay. I get a better sense of this now. All right. So now on this side, it wants me to add 9 stitches. Yeah. So I cast on 9, and this forms like the little closure for whatever this is. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 7, 8, 9. There's basically knit the 9, decrease 1, knit to the end, which means I should have like 21 on here for that to work. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Okay. Yeah, it just wants me to do a random decrease in the middle for whatever reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe to make it stronger, who knows? 6, 9. Then I decrease and then I got 10. Huh? Oh, right. Because the decrease makes it 10, and that's how math works. Yes, that's how math works. All right. Cool. So now we have the row Avec boutonnière. So I knit until the last 3 stitches, in which I make a buttonhole. And then on the next row, I cast all the stitches off. As I am losing stitches, because the needle is only so big, but it's going to get easier once I cast off this section. Because I think this is the only part where it has that part. Yeah. So up until the last 3, it said? Yeah. Because we have 1 decrease, 1 yarn over, 1 stitch. And now we cast them all off. It leaves just enough of a hold for a button. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking it would be cute to make some shoes recently. This is having me reconsider that. Well, maybe if I were making the shoes for myself it would be better. Oh, I'll be right back again. It's just typical last stages of a cold stuff. All right. There we go. We're almost there. Now after this, we're going to be working on the center part. So, let's give that a snip there. Just pull that out. And this part is going to you have like a vague buttonhole right there. And that is apparently going to go through whatever I make here, somehow it's going to work. We just have to have faith. So, I'm going to reattach some yarn here. Oh, come on. Row 25 on the center part wants me to start with a purl. It's not on the right side for that, unless I did it on the wrong side. But I don't think I did. Cool. We're just going to switch them all to the other needles so that way we can purl, because that is the instruction for purl. But the shoe doesn't have any, the shoe doesn't stray from stockinette. It doesn't go into garter. Except on the edge here. So we knit the first stitch here. That's how we're going to get it close to what it's like in the picture. Then we decrease. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we decrease again, but in the opposite way. And we knit that one. There we go. So all the shaping for some reason is happening on the purl side, which is not what has been happening for the rest of the shoe. Where all the shaping has been happening on the knit side. There we go. Make sure that doesn't go out. Boom, boom. Yep. Oh, we're doing the garter thing here, so that way the part of the shoe doesn't spin. Okay. Then 1, 2, and we have the shaping here again this way, and at this point, there's no more decreasing, it's just continuing. So I'm going to check back in when it wants me to do something a little bit weird at the top. I got to the part of the pattern where I now have to do something special, and I kind of got frustrated, just cut off enough yarn to just continue on so I could move on to another part of the pattern, which is why there's now this part here now, because it's literally just 3 rows. And when I tell you I got frustrated, I'm now at the same spot on the other shoe. But I'm now in a better mood than I was last night when my nose decided it needed all the attention in the world. And I can now better interpret whatever this pattern, like this paragraph is. And to be fair, still trying to read the paragraph goes, That's probably like the worst sound effect you've ever heard. But thankfully there are pictures. And I can kind of interpret the picture to kind of interpret what's going on here, yeah? So, let me once again show you this lovely page of the book. Here, you can see I'm supposed to fold it over because I'm supposed to kind of pull it through. And I know it needs to be wide enough to let the, let this little thing get pulled through. So I'm going to assume it wants me to like bend it down. And now I'm going to be kind of knitting through. Kind of just going to the edge here of where it's started. And kind of just like do the double knitting thing again that I did for this guy. And once I do that, I will be finished with the shoes, which means I will have knitted everything for the clothing, which, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm there. So, as my stomach just growls. So I'm going to guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit them both at the same time. Boom, boom. And just get every stitch. I should have 9. And then I'm going to cast it off at the same time. Which makes me feel like I'm doing more of a crochet pattern because I'm pulling loop over loop over loop. But it is what it is, yeah. And with that, I should be able to pull the thing through as I'm sewing it together. And we have a cute little shoe clasp. I also have to go searching for all the buttons. Try to find buttons that match. Not necessarily all the match all of the buttons on the clothing, but oh, I messed this up. Let me just pull it out to the second stitch. Make it go that way. Kind of works. It's good enough. We're not going to let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Again. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta sleep on something, yeah? Gotta give your mind a chance to rest. So that way you can approach things with a brand new mindset. And we got our little thing there, and then it just wants me to pull this through so that way I'll sew a button on this guy right here and we'll be able to like have a clasp on the shoe. which adorable, yeah. So I think the next time I'm going to check in, the clothes are going to be all done. I'm just going to sew them all up and we'll get to finally experience a completion of the French knitting. After promising you that I would finish it over 6 months ago, I think. Has it been 6 months? Maybe. Well, Alfred finally has clothes. So, Alfred, are you ready to show them off to the kind people of the internet? Yeah? Okay. This is Alfred's main outfit. And there are the little booties. Kind of have to pull them all the way back. Show them off. And I mean, he's cute. Give him that. But when it comes to the actual clothing themselves, I mean, some of the clothing, even though I used needles that were thicker than the ones I used for Alfred, I guess maybe my overstuffing caused it to be a problem because, like, the shoes are kind of tight and the band here is kind of tight, even with this part being off. And I do have some buttons that like coming undone on the sweater here. But I was able to find matching buttons in the area where they mattered. So, like, I didn't bother trying to match the buttons here with the buttons here, but I made sure that all these buttons were matching with each other, you know. I feel kind of mixed about it because, well, also, like, with the tension, this probably could have been a little bit longer. Now it kind of looks like he outgrew it, but it's like, while this all is very cute, it hides a lot of the hard-earned work I put on the texture of his body. Although it does help make the head a little bit more steady. It's like, I put a lot of texture there. I don't necessarily want to hide it. But yeah, it's like, I think for the majority of the patterns I'm going to be making from this book, again, the animals are going to stay naked. I'm not going to commit to the clothing, especially if I want the video to not take over half a year of my life. Like, animals should be naked. I say, as I imagine a future in which I'm probably going to get a cuddly pet at some point in my future, not the near future, but in the somewhere off distant futures. And when that happens, I will probably end up making a piece of clothing for said cuddly pet. But yeah, I'm very glad that Alfred is completely done. And I mean, he's got a lot of boyish charm now. I have learned a lot about how this pattern writer writes her patterns, so I think that will help me if I make any more patterns of hers going forward. But I am very, very glad that Alfred is completely done. So anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day. Au revoir.